Hey, what's going on, guys? Reaper here. So I got tagged by Hondo to do the one gun, one knife challenge, which basically, my understanding, watching all the videos and kind of reading the comments from everybody's videos, is that in a shit hits the fan situation, what gun and what knife would you grab? Well, first thing I'm going to talk about is I've seen these things on Facebook and YouTube several times before, and a situation where I can only grab one gun and one knife, that means one of two things. I'm in a situation where I probably already got that knife and gun on my person, that I've already left the house, my go bag's possibly in the vehicle, or I'm obviously away from home, and I'm in a situation where there's something going on and I don't want to come out and say, hey, I've got a knife and gun. Which means that it's probably a hostile situation or I've already used it. Two, this probably means that I've already been captured or detained for some reason, whether it be in the event of martial law or an opposing force. So that being said, the only reason why I would have to choose between one gun and one knife is if I somehow got the upper hand on my captor and took their gun and knife, which means I wouldn't have a choice. But just for fun and games, this is what we're doing, and it's kind of neat. To be honest, though, in a real situation, I wouldn't just grab one gun and one knife. I would have my sidearm, my rifle, my pack, tons of rounds of ammo and mags and everything else you can think of, because I'd be throwing on my plate carrier, grabbing my rifle, my gun, and out the fucking door. So, but anyway, just for the fun and games, possibility of post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse survival thing, you know, that you can just grab something and go, that would basically be my 1911. Now, a lot of you guys have seen me shoot with this in training purposes and videos, and I've actually got another one that is twin sister, basically. Fully compensated on this one and customized to me, basically. I'm highly accurate with the gun. Most of my life, all the guns I have shot with when it comes to a sidearm or a pistol has been a 1911 or a 45. It's not because I fall into that 1911 stereotype. It's just that I personally find the fit, feel, and firing and mechanism of the whole weapon to be flawless, in my opinion. Of course, anybody can argue that and be completely different. But a lot of people would probably think it'd be my custom AR-15 that I built that's all reapered out. Not so much, because in reality, if I can only grab a pistol, it's going to be a situation where things are going on and I can shoot the next motherfucker that rolls up and take whatever gun I need. And that's just how it is. In reality, that's probably how it would all go down anyway. If you're in that situation, you're not going to go out of town and leave your house with an AR-15 strapped to your back. Some people do that, and it's legal in some places. Some countries, that's the norm. But here in the States, not so much. But I don't choose a rifle for a couple of reasons, because I find that leaving the house with the rifle, obviously, in that situation, is a good thing to have for distance. But if you had to grab one gun, one knife, and you're running and you're going, it's going to be pretty close range combat, in my opinion. No reason to have that first get up and go to be kind of obvious. You can hide usually a handgun and a knife pretty easily, so leaving the house, especially if you live in town, or vehicle, or something that you have to escape from in a hurry, you can basically just go, keep it hidden until you absolutely need it, and then re-hide it so easily. And like I said, pick up a rifle anytime along the way and use it along with ammo, because it's going to be all over the place in that situation, I guarantee it. So it would be my 45, which I have on me literally at all times. Anybody that knows me knows that there's a weapon within hand's reach of me at any given time. Doesn't matter where it's at, where we're at, what we're doing. There's always some form of weapon within hand's reach of me at all times. 9 times out of 10, if this was a real deal, this gun's already on me. I don't have to grab it. I usually don't carry a knife with me unless it's a little pocket knife or something like that. But 9 times out of 10, I have more than one pistol on me at all times. I could have anywhere from 2 to 4 And that's not a joke, it's a literal fact. I do. Because usually I carry both of my 1911s, and then there's usually a backup or two backups that people don't know about. That's not at all times, but it's pretty common for me to do that depending on what I'm doing, how much time I have to leave the house, you know, where I'm going, so on and so forth. So in reality, I have between 2 and 4 guns on me at all times. But for the knife anyway, guys, would be a World War I, World War II style trench knife. You know, it's got the knuckles on it, and these things are great because they have multiple killing points in them, I guess you could say, to kill or maim your opponent. So double-edged blade, which I just, you know, they're great. I love them. You got the knuckles, of course, which can cause some serious damage, and then you got the little spike point at the very end of it that they put on them, which blunt force trauma coming into the skull can do a hell of a lot. They're pretty heavy, and they're great to have. I mean, if you have to get to the point where you're using a knife, you've already probably failed, or you're completely out of ammo, and it's just one of those things you have to. I know a lot of people think of a knife as a stealth kill, but in reality, if you're going to kill somebody with a knife, it's usually not fucking quiet at all. A lot of people think to come up and slit their throat while holding their mouth. Well, that's not quiet. That's actually one of the loudest purposes to try and stealth kill somebody with, because usually when you come up and you're holding their mouth and their nose, so they're not breathing, they can't scream, you go to slit the throat, they make a lot of gurgling noise, and that's not something you want. To be realistic with using a knife for stealth kills, or the possibility of having to use that as a purpose, would be to come up and put your hand over their mouth and nose and come in through the back, the soft part of the skull down here into the spine. And they used to teach that. I don't know if they still do anymore, to be honest with you, but it was one of the best ways to perform a stealth kill with a knife. Of course, knives have other purposes other than killing, and that's part of the reason I would choose a trench knife over a lot of the other knives. It's a fixed blade, and you can use the knuckles and the diamond point on the rear of it for other items that could become handy for survival situations. Of course, like I said, if it was a one gun, one knife situation, and that's what I had to take, that would be for killing purposes, in my opinion, because if you're storming out with a gun and a knife, that means it's basically your last ditch, and it's the last thing you got. So you're going to want anything and everything you can at all hands reach and possibilities to use to stay alive and survive. So that's kind of what I'm looking at this whole one gun, one knife challenge as a viewpoint for. But anyway, guys, that's my choice for the one gun, one knife challenge. Threw a bunch of extra stuff in there that really didn't have anything to do with the video, but that's just kind of my viewpoint on the whole one gun, one knife challenge thing, is that it's really not anything more than fun and games, and I don't want people to get in the mindset of thinking, well, that's exactly how it's going to go down. Train for the possibility that you're in a situation where you're captured, you've been detained, maybe that's all you have on your person, or maybe that's all you have in your vehicle. But if you're at home, or you can get home, it's usually not going to go down that way, especially if you're a prepper or a survivalist. You usually carry a go bag that might have your gun, your knife, or a spare knife in it, and how you might even carry a rifle in your vehicle. So in a lot of instances, you're going to have an option, and going along the way, you're going to be able to pick up more in the sense of weaponry along the way. More than likely, they're going to be laying around, or you're going to have to kill somebody, take their life, and take what they have. It's just simple survival. That's all it is at that point. But I don't buy into the whole, if you could only choose this, or what's to your left and what's to your right. I usually freak people out if I comment on something like that, because what's to my left and what's to my right is two 1911s, a sword, 16 knives, 42 loaded mags around the fucking room, a 9mm, 44, AR-15s, you know, shit like that. That's usually how I am. There's always a gun within reach. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it got a little long-winded here and there in a few places, but I kind of felt I had to touch on a few areas and situations involving one gun, one knife. Some of you might find it a little boring, and then there's some of you who probably find it a little interesting. So since I was tagged, I'm going to tag 3 people from YouTube here that are subscribed to me. Some of you might be gun guys and some of you might not. I know a lot of you guys do more car related stuff or models or just different things like that, but you don't have to. Just because I tagged you, you don't have to make a video about anything like that. But if you do, I'd really be interested in seeing what your choices would be and seeing what you guys had to touch base on for that whole situation. But anyway, guys, this is what I got. One Wild Camaro SS, I tag you, buddy. The Redneck Railroad, I also tag you. And Carolina Man, I tag you as well. Oh, yeah. But no, anyway, guys, like I said, you don't have to make a video or even touch base on it whatsoever. I just figured I'd tag you guys. You kind of seem gun-minded individuals to me. And it'd be kind of neat to see if you guys do make a video, what you guys would choose and what you would have to touch base on as far as the whole matter. Anyway, guys, as always, stay frosty, ride or die, Reaper out. Being kind of the cock of the walk and an egotistical little asshole that I am,